This is what the Philadelphia Eagles need to do in the 2024 NFL Draft. Ryan Wilson and Josh Edwards from With the First Pick here to give you the ultimate mock draft for the team that picks 22nd overall. All right, let's jump to the old NFL mock draft database simulator. In this simulation, Josh, Tully Fuaga is there. The right tackle at Oregon State, Ola Fashanu, is there. The left tackle, I don't think he'll be here in real life, but for our purposes, he is. They just re-upped Jordan Mailata, so I think they're okay there. Leatu Latu, and then Nate Wiggins probably feels their biggest need at cornerback, but you said something interesting a second ago. Maybe Fuaga solves a couple of problems, both near term and looking into the future.
Yeah, so Jason Kelsey retired this offseason. That is going to challenge their depth a little bit in that position. You also lost, or you're potentially losing Lane Johnson in the next couple of years. You're starting right tackle. So Talise Fuaga, to me, is a great option because he could possibly give you some depth, some insurance for the interior offensive line, and then be that right tackle of the future whenever Lane Johnson does decide to hang up. But I will say this, in a real live scenario, your phone is ringing right now because you're probably getting calls from the Packers. Maybe Jerry Jones's call from the Cowboys is not getting through. Maybe that's being
he's calling the subway.
Forwarded to your local. It's being forwarded to a local establishment instead of to your general manager. So to me, I think in this situation, you take Talise Fuaga and give you more depth because that's what the Eagles would do in the first round.
Yeah, let's do it. I like it. And then at pick 50, we'll see where we are with the cornerback position. There's a player I have in mind that I'll be interested to see if he's there and what you think about it. Oh, gosh. Oh, Jordan Morgan's there too. Ennis Rakestraw, like he's there. He's not going to be there in real life, I don't think. So hit the cornerback button. And let's see. So Mikey Sainristil, I love. TJ Tampa is a long physical cornerback. We've talked about Chris Abrams-Strain. I guess Kamari Lassiter went off the board. I was thinking Kamari Lassiter when we were talking because he feels like a Howie Roseman pick and that he's a former Georgia player. Necessarily didn't test through the roof, but is a physical cornerback. They had two on the roster last year who were rookies. So let's take Ennis Rakestraw off the board here, just because yes, he's here, but he's not going to be here. I don't believe at 50. That feels awfully rich. Oh, I meant don't draft him, but Harry drafted him. Okay, Harry made an executive decision. We're getting Rakestraw. Rakestraw it is. 53, so we're back on the board. All right, now we can go in any number of directions here. Tyler Nubin's still there, and there's a chance he's there around pick 50. If we want to bolster the safety position, they have C.J. Gardner-Johnson, but he's more of a slot guy. Reed Blankenship. And then Sidney Brown, who tore his ACL, the rookie last year, late in the season. So that's an option as well. Oh, man, and Javon Bullard, who's basically C.J. Gardner-Johnson light. So are you thinking more secondary help, or you want to go somewhere else? Ooh, Peyton Wilson's
linebacker,
there?
Yeah, I was going to say linebacker would be the other consideration because Edrin Cooper is there as well. You don't really have any solidified roles at that level of your defense quite yet. Nakobe Dean is there. Devin White is there. Zach Bond, Oren Burks, they signed a lot of free agents. Are those your guys long term? Are they going to be able to solidify that unit for you, which has been a weakness for a long time? And maybe they don't even value it in the second round. That's also a consideration. But Peyton Wilson, Edrin Cooper, just in terms of value, I think at least have to be part of the conversation.
And I'm taking Edge Cooper over Peyton because of age and lack of injuries. And they're both great players, but I think Cooper actually somehow has a little more juice and Peyton's pretty juiced up. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm good with that. I like that direction a lot.
All right, so we're rolling now. All right, now we're at pick 120, which is now in the fourth round. And we can go, we got our cornerback. Got offensive line help for post Lane Johnson, and then we have the linebacker position, which we've struggled to fill in recent years. And now Chris Abrams-Strain's still there. Cedric Gray would just solve that problem. Christian Mahogany, the interior offensive lineman, at BC. Zach Zinner, who suffered the injury from Michigan, also interior offensive line. Anything strike your fancy here, Josh?
Offensive line, again, would be a consideration because of value. We've already addressed that, and they do have some really quality players at those positions on the roster currently. We've already addressed linebacker. We've already addressed cornerback as well. So those are the positions that jump out to me right now. I don't know that they're necessarily the biggest needs.
Here, let's look at
And that's
safety real
tough.
quick. Let's see what's there. So, Dadrian Taylor Demerson, we've talked about him a lot through this process. I love him.
I do too.
Keaton Oladipo, I like a lot too, as sort of a tweener, but I don't know if he fits what they're trying to do with some of the players already on the roster. And then let's look at wide receivers just for fun, Harry. They get Devontae Parker. Malik Washington's a slot guy. Their current slot situation is Devonta Smith. I think he's going to be all right. They signed Paris Campbell. So this isn't a huge need, but after Devontae, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, it does open up. I mean, I mentioned Paris Campbell, but where is he in his NFL journey? And then Joseph Nada out of Clemson, who has been a part-time player to say the least throughout his career so far. All right, what are you thinking?
I actually like the idea of Dadrian Taylor Demerson. I think it's good value. I don't know that he's going to be asked to play immediately, but I think he's capable of it if forced into that position.
And just like a year ago, Sidney Brown was forced into duty because of injuries, and he was up and down until he got hurt. But, I mean, you get athleticism on the back end, and that's never a bad thing. All right, pick 161. We've got 4 picks to go. So we could double down on the linebackers. Tommy Eichenberg's still there. Josh Newton in the corner. EBOG's still there. Christian Jones at right tackle. What are we thinking here?
We talked about wide receiver. Jamari Thrash is one of my guys. I mean, I think he's just a really quality player, good route runner. I think he can get the job done.
Yeah. No reason to overthink that. And we're looking for best available at this point. 3 picks to go, 171 and 172. So what we got here? All right. So what is I asked the quarterback situation. They have Kenny Pickett, so they're fine there. They don't need any backup quarterbacks. Running back, they have Saquon and then Kenneth Gainwell, and that's it. I don't know if you think of adding some depth there. What's the running back situation look like after Isaac Garendo? There's Tracy, Lobby, Dylan Johnson. Isaiah Davis is intriguing in that I think he offers some versatility. Smaller school guy. Cody Schrader's fun. I don't know how he fits. And Kendall Milton's fun too. So I don't know if we want to do running back. We're going to wait on running back and do best player available at another position. I think this team, it's actually a pretty good roster, and makes it even harder to understand why they imploded last year. But here we are. All right, what are you thinking?
Let's go with Garendo.
Okay.
I do think they could add some depth there at the running back position. So,
all right, and then what do we got for best player available? Mustafa, Michael Pratt. I mean, it doesn't make sense to take a quarterback. We have 3 on the roster. Christian Jones adds some. He's another right tackle, but we just sorted that out with Fuaga, who has a little more versatility. Bordellini's there on the interior offensive line. Cam Jurgens, Landon Dickerson, and Tyler Steen, all young players. There's not a lot of need there. What about Maris Liafu out of Notre Dame? And I'm thinking just at this point, we're getting athletes with special teams.
True. Yeah, that is a consideration for this stage of the draft, especially with the new rules, kind of cutting down on the space between players. I think you need guys that are going to be a little bit more shifty, have that quickness to make plays in space. So when you're considering special teams, I like his fit a lot more.
Yeah, he's not going to compete to play right away at linebacker, but I like his athleticism and the toughness of which he plays. All right, let's go with Liafu. And then I think we have one more pick left. This has been probably the toughest draft we've done in terms of finding dudes. All right, Christian Boyd's there. We've talked about him a lot. Curtis Jacobs, another athlete that plays on the inside. Bo Braid at safety. Cornelius Johnson. We got Jamari Thrash at wide receiver. What are you thinking here, Josh? Brennan Jackson's a developmental pass rusher out of Washington State.
Yeah, we can't take another running back, and we can't take another linebacker. So probably either be Christian Boyd from Northern Iowa for me, or Brennan Jackson, the edge rusher from Washington State.
Yeah, let's do Brian Jackson. They did get Bryce Hupp, obviously, and they have Brandon Graham's a little older. They have Josh Sweat, Nolan Smith Jr. So he's a guy that you take a flyer on and hope he develops. Maybe it ends up on the practice squad, but I mean, this roster's pretty stout. All right, that's it, right, Harry? All right, here we go. 22, Tully Fuaga. Come back and get Ennis Rakestraw somehow in the second round, and then Edge Cooper 3 picks later. And then more defensive help in Taylor Dimerson out of Texas Tech. Then you go offense with Thrash and Garendo, and finish things up with 2 best player available situations, both on defense, both hopefully can help on special teams to begin their career. All right, that's a wrap on the perfect Eagles draft class. Make sure to subscribe to NFL on CBS on YouTube and download the With the First Pick podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And stay tuned for more Ultimate Mock Drafts because we're hitting all 32 teams.